In June 2025, headlines around the world exploded. Two of the Middle East's most powerful nations entered a dangerous conflict that lasted just 12 days, but left global shockwaves.
As Israel and Iran continue to fire at each other.
Welcome to Let Me Tell You. Today, we unpack what sparked the Iran-Israel 2025 conflict. How it escalated, what the global impact was, and where it leaves the world now. But first, if you find value in unbiased, well-researched breakdowns, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help this channel grow. Tensions between Israel and Iran have long simmered over regional security, political rivalries, and nuclear development concerns.
6 gigantic craters, the biggest, nearly 20 feet wide, seen here at the Fordo nuclear facility, buried deep beneath a mountain.
On June 13, 2025, reports emerged that Israel had conducted targeted strikes on nuclear-related infrastructure inside Iran. These actions, according to sources, were seen as preventive measures aimed at curbing potential nuclear threats. Iran responded swiftly, launching missiles toward Israeli territory. Air defense systems were activated, and several areas saw direct impacts, though civilian casualties remained relatively low. This marked the beginning of a highly sensitive military exchange, with both countries citing self-defense and national security as their primary motives. Over the next several days, the situation intensified. Israel and Iran exchanged airstrikes and missile attacks, while regional allies and international observers called for restraint. Amid rising tensions, the United States became involved, launching strategic strikes on specific Iranian military sites. The U.S. stated that its actions were limited and aimed at de-escalating nuclear risk.
Iran, in response, has launched hundreds of missiles and drones at major Israeli cities.
Iran responded with missile launches toward U.S. bases in the Gulf.
Military bases in the Middle East nations of Qatar and Iraq, but it's being seen as a largely symbolic attack.
Particularly Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. However, these were intercepted without reported casualties. Some analysts speculated the move was more symbolic than strategic. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels across Europe, the Gulf, and Asia opened rapidly in hopes of containing the conflict. The conflict's impact went far beyond the region. Oil prices surged as concerns over disruptions in the Persian Gulf intensified. Stock markets worldwide saw increased volatility, especially in energy, tech, and defense sectors. Airlines rerouted flights to avoid conflict zones, while shipping routes slowed, increasing global freight costs. Some nations, particularly oil exporters like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, saw short-term economic gains. Meanwhile, countries dependent on imported fuel faced immediate challenges. Defense stocks in several nations rose sharply, reflecting heightened geopolitical uncertainty. On June 23rd, a major turning point arrived. U.S. President Donald Trump, through back-channel discussions involving Israeli and Iranian officials, announced a proposed ceasefire agreement, reportedly facilitated by Qatari diplomats.
One rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that.
Key elements of the plan included Iran pausing its military activity if Israeli strikes halted by 4 a.m. Tehran time. Israel agreeing to reduce air operations within a 12-hour window after Iran's. Commitment. Full ceasefire taking effect within 24 hours. There were isolated reports of continued military actions after the announcement. But by June 24, both governments had officially acknowledged the ceasefire with de-escalation steps underway. Looking forward, several key developments are expected. 1. Renewed diplomatic engagements. European leaders have resumed dialogue with both nations, focusing on nuclear transparency and regional stability. 2. IAEA involvement. The International Atomic Energy Agency may increase monitoring in Iranian facilities as part of confidence-building efforts. 3. Proxy activity monitoring. Regional groups aligned with either side remain under observation. Global leaders continue to discourage involvement to avoid flare-ups. 4. Economic adjustments. Oil markets may take months to stabilize. New energy deals. And trade adjustments are already being negotiated. 5. Cybersecurity. Focus. With conventional attacks subsiding, future conflicts may shift to digital domains, prompting increased investment in cyber defense globally. The Iran-Israel conflict of 2025 was brief, but it reminded the world how quickly regional tensions can impact the entire planet.
Iran is the latest country working to acquire hypersonic missiles.
Unveiled its new hypersonic missile.
Iran's ballistic missile program has been under UN Security Council sanction.
Let us know in the comments who actually did win the war. Subscribe to Let Me Tell You for more insightful, balanced breakdowns of world events. Stay informed, stay curious, and always seek the full story.